inside.
To all the soldiers that pass and gone. For the ones that's here.
On the line.
Them don't know my pain, my struggles and my gain. Every time I fall, Father God make me rise again. Them don't know my heart, them bad mind and them grudgeful and them want tear me apart. Them don't know my life, them don't know my fight. Father God bless me, now I can testify. And let me tell you about life. Life. Every time that I fall, God pick me up, God pick me up. And let me tell you about life. Every time that I stumble, God make me humble, Jah keep me humble. So never give up. If you lost your car, lost your job, never give up. On the streets with no food to eat, you'd never give up. Just pray to Father God and never give up. And let me tell you about life. So many mothers cry, so many people die. Is either by the gun or viruses, to ask me why. Just looking at the mirror, you stop live a lie. The cocaine that you take is just a temporary high. But them don't know your life, them don't know your fight. Father God bless you. Hey, and let me tell you about life. Every time that you fall, God pick you up, God pick you up. Hey, and let me.
They say who feels it knows it. Let me tell you about life. And let me tell you about life. Every time that I fall, God pick me up. I say them don't know my pain, my struggles and my gain. Every time I fall, Father God, make me rise again. Oh, you mean? Live on the live, yours truly RK3. Tonight, it's all about on the live. Tonight ain't no ordinary night. I want to thank all the people. You know, go share the live, tag a friend, share the live, let them know RKG and Beast is on the live. It's Wednesday. And tonight is not an ordinary night. Tonight is a special night. Actually, tonight is the first night we're going to get really in depth, right, on sex, sex. Tonight, the topic is about sex. Our special guest tonight is Dr. Raj. Sexologist, Dr. Raj. So we're talking sex tonight. Women who may be having problems with their spouse. Fellas, if you're having problem with an erection, now is the time. Of course, you're free to join on the live and talk. Now, some people might be a little bit shy. So, you know, if you want to take up the live, you want somebody to see your face and you want to find out some stuff from Raj, this is the time. You have Dr. Raj on the show tonight. You know what I mean? So, you're going to get up close and personal with Dr. Raj. You're going to find out about his come up in the business, you know, how he started, you know, where did he practice in terms of, you know, medicine, being a doctor, also advising people, because a lot of people are, over the years, would go to Dr. Raj when they're having problems. You know what I mean? So, we definitely gonna. Somebody sent my request here. Let me see. All right, so we're gonna have Dr. Raj on the show in a little while. See where we have Base. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Hey, what's up?
Just tuning in, listening. No questions asked.
Well, good vibes. Well, we have Dr. Raj on the show tonight. So...
custom listening to Dr. Raj.
Oh, yeah, custom listening to Dr. Raj. So you're a fan of Dr. Raj then?
Yeah, from Sense Ever.
Well, nice. Well, stick around, get something to drink, get some popcorn or some kind of thing, and rejoin us when Dr. Raj come on the live, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so base, what base? Base sauce. The base. Alright. Now I have brethren that like to play tanto and talk about their listen. They really handle the girl with the I like the t-shirt tonight, boy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. I like the t-shirt. What's up, yes, man?
Cool, man. I good, man. I good, man. I good. Life is life tonight.
Yes. So tonight is our special night. I was telling them tonight. Tonight,
Yeah.
of course, we'll share the live tonight. We have Dr. Raj on the live tonight. It will be my first, actually. It's going to be my first interaction with him because I never had a conversation with Dr. Raj.
Trust me, you're going to be enlightened tonight. You're going to learn today. Yeah. So after you talk to him tonight, a lot of things might change in your life. No? Serious.
Like you had a situation before where things change in yours, boy.
Well, no, I've done many shows with him, and Dr. Raj did a show. I used to produce a TV show with him as well too. We did a TV show at one point.
Seriously?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know he was any production side of it.
Yeah, we did many shows together, man. So good, I'm very familiar.
No, Dr. Raj, of course, somebody just came on the live here. Black Chinese. Hey, Black Chinese, you know. I know about our cousin named Black Chinese. When we say Black
Chinese.
Anyhow.
Hey, yeah, man, Black Chinese. Yeah.
Right. The thing is, a lot of men won't say it, but I have a lot of men over the years experiencing problems. Young men with erection.
Erectile dysfunction, you call it.
Yeah, erectile dysfunction.
Some of them want to take Viagra. Some of them want to take Viagra and punching, drink Viagra and punching.
Viagra and what?
Yeah, no, I mean doing that all day. Yeah, Viagra and punching. And you know what? One thing, what you go learn? You see all them thing, all they like to drink and say it's good for the back, and they said that punch and this and that gain your diabetes. What you see?
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So Peter punching good for the back, Simon good for the back.
It's not that they ain't good for the back, but while they're drinking it, they would have said that sugar and they said that thing. That is not it.
Serious.
Yeah, them thing harming you more than you know. What you think it is? Trust me. You learn a lot.
But a man like Dr. Raj, what I want to find out is come up to it.
Yeah.
It's come up in the game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well,
because I was actually looking at an interview with him earlier on where he was talking a lot about spirituality, and I was shocked.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So you feel just because he is into sex. I mean, sex and spirituality come together, you know. Like I don't know if you ever saw anything like, you know, like them men who are, you have one set of woman and thing, and then things not kind of going away and thing. Spirits, when you have sex, you welcome spirits into you. So you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Goes hand in hand.
I heard that too. And I don't know if Dr. Raj can clear up this tonight.
Yeah.
I heard before, when a woman have sex with a man, the sperm stay in her for a very, very long time.
Okay, I think I heard that too, but we will talk about all that. As well as before we talk to Dr. Raj, let me talk about Manaj. You know what I mean? The soul and testicles. So you take your vaccine and thing again, the soul and testicles?
Never. No kind of my girl on the live here get actually. No kind of problem.
Shania RKG again, his soul and testicles.
You're trying to put me up.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, but wait what I see. Wait what I will see.
Yeah, why you think go? Why think up?
Yeah.
No. This is this part of the here, no. Ism schism. I know Nicki Minaj's mother, Carol, personally.
Okay.
Right? Every time if you go on my Twitter, you will see she have a picture with the Caribbean One album. Every time she come to Trinidad, she touched down, she would link an interview on radio and stuff and thing already, right? So it's at a particular time that she invited me. I think it was a Hyatt, yeah. And when I went Hyatt, boy, you know, she said, well, all right, she have a few family coming. And when the family started to walk in, daddy, all of them look like Nicki Minaj. I swear to you. Like that one face.
Right.
You see all the Smurfs have one face?
Yeah.
All of them have one face, right? So they walk in, ting. But you know, they don't talk now, boy. If you understand where I'm coming from, right? They don't talk, right? And just being around them and see how they operate is real Jones, is real kick. So what I feel happened genuinely is exactly what she said. She does say her talk and she decides to put it out there. But as they say in Spider-Man, with power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. Well, I have a different twist, you know. I feel Nicki Minaj knew exactly what she was doing. I feel Nicki Minaj knew she was going to miss the Met Gala, which is a very big event for artists and people in the entertainment industry, and she couldn't have been there because she's not vaccinated, right?
Right.
I think with missing the Met Gala, she saw this as an opportunity to get her name called.
Right.
Because a lot of these artists do that. They do things to, you know, it's not for attention, but you had to keep your name out there, you know, share album or thing.
Yeah.
These artists and thing too. So I feel all of that was part of it, you know? Because...
But let me ask you, how you find Trinidad dealing with it though?
Yeah, well, Trinidad writing off. They've been wanting to write off. They're writing off, you know what I mean? And, oh God, people in Trinidad, they say stupidness all the time. You go think, I mean, they're making us look bad internationally. Because last night, I was watching some of the late night talk shows and thing, and they really, you know, it's not just Nicki Minaj, you know. It's Nicki Minaj attached to Trinidad, you know, so they're looking real bad. So I find we little rough on her. We little rough on her, you know?
We little rough.
Yeah.
Let me see, Doctor.
You're on?
I want to be Doctor ready. Let me see. You spoke to him from before?
Yeah, I spoke to him. He wanted to come in about 8:55. I tell him come around 9:10, so because we talk a little bit. What time now?
Alright,
he's a man on
it's
time.
10 past 9.
Yeah, he's a man on time. But you should see him there anytime. You should see him there. Oh, okay, there he is. There he is.
Boy, on time.
Man. Yeah, man. He's a man of time.
I like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You're on time.
yeah man.
You're
Good night,
on
sir.
time.
Good night. So how you doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good night, sir.
Base.
Yeah, man.
Don't call me
Yeah.
sir. Don't call me sir.
All right. Sorry.
You and I,
Raj.
you and I have a lot of history, and you know I appreciate you as a human being and my friend.
Yeah, man.
Well said.
Respect, man. But this is RKG. First time you're meeting RKG. You know?
Yeah, it's my first interaction with you, Mr. Raj. You know, over the years I heard you on radio. I listened to some of the shows. Actually, funny enough, I was actually looking at your Facebook earlier on, and I was watching one of the shows where you were talking about spirituality, right?
Yes.
And obviously sex. No, the thing about it, this is a platform that me and Base created where we interview from artists, people all walks of life. So first and foremost, it's a pleasure having you here tonight. You know what I mean?
Well, let me
platform.
Let me thank both of you for having me. I appreciate it very much. And
Yeah, I know if your volume could come up a little bit, Boy Raj, but you're sounding a little distant.
And I always like to share. Always like to share my knowledge.
Right.
How is that? Better?
A little better, but it could be a little louder. I know. Put the phone closer to you or something.
Okay, I'll bring the phone.
I don't know if something blocking the speaker.
How is that?
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's my pleasure to be on your program and to be on your live and to discuss anything you want to discuss. I believe in giving knowledge and sharing knowledge.
Nice one. Always.
And one thing I can tell you, and Base can tell you, I've always been truthful about everything that I say.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man, Doc. So of course, people who meeting you or hearing you for the first time or interviewing for the first time, like RKG, they would want to know. I mean, in terms of you being the sexologist in the Caribbean, like the #1 sexologist, so I don't know if it's the only sexologist in the Caribbean. What made you want to get into this? Out of all the things, you could have been a gynecologist, you could have been a pediatrician. What made you want to be a sexologist?
Well, first of all, I'm the only qualified sexologist in the Caribbean. I'm one of very few qualified sexologists and sex therapists in this part of the world. It was a vision I had when I was about 11 years of age. It might sound strange to people, but it's something that I always knew I wanted to do something with sex.
Wow.
When I was studying my first degree at university, which is an accounting degree, I continued to the study of sex, but I always wanted to be someone who would share knowledge, give knowledge freely when it comes to sex. And the reason for that is that a lot of my friends would be talking about sex, but they will be making things up. And I kind of realized that, and I was trying to get my education from them. They are the older guys in our village where I grew up in Sangre Grande. And it was not the information I wanted because I realized a lot of it was ego talking. So I decided to study sex. And I've been studying sex since the age of 11 till now, and I'm still studying it because there's so many facets of sex. But the point that you brought up there, is it RKG?
Yeah, RKG.
Right.
Yeah, RKG, yeah.
The point that you brought up about spirituality, I come from a very spiritual background with my parents and grandparents and whatnot. And we are practicing Sanatanis. Sanatanis is the original name of Hinduism. And in Hinduism, there's a lot of facets based on sex. And a lot of people don't understand that or know that. Some of the books, for
Right.
example, people think the Kama Sutra is about positions. It's not. The Kama Sutra is
Yeah.
instructions in love. Kama Sutra. And if you read the book, you'll see where the spirituality thread run through it. But what I have done is I have kind of molded myself into an individual who has all this information, still gathering information from my clients and everyone else, and putting it out there.
Mhm.
Putting it out there so that
Right.
the average Joe gets correct information. He or she knows how to handle their situation and their lives, because each person is unique. And Base and I did a radio program for many years and on 94.1, and we would have people calling from all walks of life. Of course, it was a younger generation, and they will be asking questions, and some people may think it's a joke, but nothing in sex is a joke.
Yeah.
So the reason why
No.
I am who I am is because I
Mm.
think that people are not educated enough when it comes to sex, sexuality, sexual behavior.
No, you said something, Raj, that very, very important. And people on live, feel free to go share the live. We have Dr. Raj on the live. It's on the live right here on Wednesday. Now, you said at the age of 11,
Yes.
right? Now, growing up, I talk about sex. Mommy want to slap me, grandmother want to slap you. At that age, how did the people around you, your family, your parents felt about you being inquisitive about sex at that age?
Well, let's put it this way. I had two visions in life. One was to have the best gym in Trinidad, which I accomplished during the period 1984 to 1992. I had the most successful gym. And those are two visions that I had when I was 11 years of age. I started to do research.
Right.
I started to do a lot of reading. As I said, I came from a conservative background. So I had to do a lot of it in a clandestine kind of way. But I always educated myself. But one thing I will tell you, my mother and I were always best of friends. And she knew I was doing that. But she didn't know to what depth I was doing it. Even when I came back and I started all the business of sex. As a matter of fact, I started the sex business in high school.
Okay.
Like the stores.
So you're selling toys in school?
I was selling books and magazines, not toys.
Books and they're not toys back then. Okay, okay.
No.
Like Hustler, Playboy, you know, that
Hustler,
kind of thing.
Playboy, three-quarter mags, the playing cards with nude pictures and whatnot. I used to do that. I make no apologies for that, because that was who I am and who I was. But
Right.
But the educational part I got from the school library, which was at Northeastern College in Sagre Grande. I got from the public library. I got from books that people had at home, and they didn't understand. They thought it was a sex novel. And some of the books, like the Happy Hooker, the Kama Sutra, and those books were giving me knowledge. I wasn't reading it for the sex. I was reading it for the knowledge. Now, it didn't mean to say I wasn't interested in sex, you know. I was very interested in it. But I was more interested in gathering that knowledge and absorbing as much as I could. Even when I went to do my first degree, I remember for one of my class, I did a presentation where I brought a stripper in the class to do a pole dance and a strip.
Ooh, that is teacher, boy.
You kick it on the field with that one, boy.
Yeah, boy.
So I was always,
What a presentation.
I was always thinking, and how I did that. I went to the strip club, saw the most powerful performer, and I sat down and waited for her to come to my table, and I said, could I study you? And she's like, what? I said, I want to study you for my class, and I want to spend time to learn about you. And we spent 8 weeks together, and I got to learn all these things from her. But you know, sometimes you tell people about these things and they think that it is a fantasy and you can't make these things into reality. I'll tell you something. If you think about something and you find your true essence in yourself, for example, Bass. I remember the first time I heard Bass singing a calypso, I was like shocked, because I knew him from radio. I didn't know him as an artist who writes calypso and also sings it. And I called him up and I was like, he said, yeah, that was an old song. And I was like, my God, this guy has talent. So when you know your talent and you start channeling your energy towards those talents, you are going to blossom no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to have detractors, and you're going to have those who hate you and those who think that what you're doing is wrong. And the question that you ask is, how did I handle peers and friends and family knowing about these things? I didn't let them know. I only let them know when I made myself who I was, except my mother. Because what if she pulled me square and she said, don't think I don't know what you're doing, you know. I always know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
to
you
do.
can't hide from mommy, you know.
Yeah.
Mommy,
No,
mommy does perfect thing.
you speak a lot about your mother. So what about your father then? How was your father?
My father, he was an educator. He was a teacher. Then he became a businessman. And we didn't have a close relationship like my mother and I, but we were friends. We were friends. We were friends in the sense that I respected him. I respected what he achieved and accomplished. But he was my biggest fan when I went on radio. He would listen to my program every night.
You see?
Yeah. And
Yeah, boy.
you know, sometimes I take him for drives and we go places visiting family and whatnot. And he say, you know, you're talking about so and so. You made a very good point. And I listen to my father to this day. He's 85 years of age. He's still alive. Thank God for that. My mother is still alive.
Yeah.
And I think we are closer now than when I was a teenager. Because a teenager, you're rebelling and all these things. But one thing I must say is, although we come from a conservative Hindu background, they always allow me to do the things I wanted to do. And
That's
I respect
important.
my parents a lot for that. I respect them a lot for that because I blossom into who I am. My wife does the same thing also. I've been married for 35 years. No, what I say, 37 years.
What? Yes. And some people would think Dr. Raj about 10 women promiscuous. Okay, Dr. Raj has been married to the same woman for 35
I was about
years.
to say, a man who's a sexologist.
I'm a sexologist and sex therapist. I deal with sex every single day. I deal with things that will blow people's minds. I see things and I'm involved in things that people would consider to be very promiscuous and whatnot. But my wife has always been by my side. My children always knew who I was. I never lied to my children. So when I got the opportunity to be on radio, my daughter was 13 years of age and she was going to high school. And I told Ingrid Isaac, I said, I have to get permission from 2 persons in my life. She said, your wife and who? I said, my daughter first and then my wife. If my daughter told me it was not okay, I wouldn't go through with it. And then she said, Daddy, that's what you do. You have always been that way with us. So why not go ahead and do it? And then I discussed it with my wife, because if it was not okay with my daughter, who was 13 years of age, going to high school, it couldn't be okay with others. My son was younger. And he always, it was okay. He always know what I did. We don't hide things from one another. Some of my family members stopped speaking to me when I went on radio and started talking about sex. But to me, it was a challenge to get them to come around. And eventually they all did. Even my sister. Even my sister, who's also a doctor.
No, Raj, you're talking about your family not wanting you to go on radio. What would have caused that? What in the human mind would reject something like that?
Not wanting me to talk about sex.
Because
you see, sex is a taboo subject anywhere in the world. A very taboo subject. But one of the good things about our local radio station is that they took a chance on this guy coming to speak about sex. No one knew what I was going to do. I remember my co-host for years, Junior Saldana, ran out of the studio when I said the word vagina and penis. And the only person who was brave enough to stay in the studio was the deceased Christian, the late Christian. And he stayed with me for 7 years. He stayed with me for 7 years. And then Junior came on and whatnot. But it's because of the topic. You see, when you say sex, people think sex is effing. It's not. There's a whole
There's so many different aspects to sex. No, Raj, I mean, now let me just stick to the child, because we have a lot of parents who don't know how to approach even talking to their children about sex. I remember with me how I learn about sex is, well, my mom brought books to me afterwards, but I don't know if you remember back in the days when we used to have the video cassette and the Betamax and the and thing, right? So when we went to join the video club with my mom, all the movies were color coded. Like blue would be horror, red is karate, and yellow was drama. Different colors are different things. So watching the movies and things, so I just pick up. I said, let me watch this. Yellow is drama, and the drama just happened to be Forever Emmanuel. Remember that? Forever Emmanuel is a soft porn, soft porn series. So I was like 9 years old, and I watching this thing. No, it's soft porn. I ain't really seeing no bang, 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 bang. But you know, you're seeing your thing naked and people naked. And my mother was like, oh God, this boy take up that. And my grandmother was like, well, let the boy watch your thing now. Let the boy watch your thing now, you know thing. I love my grandmother.
Let the boy watch it thing now. Right? So then after that, my mom realized, well, they know it's time to think to, and she bought some books for me and thing, and that's how you get to learn, and of course, where you're here and stuff. But how would you, I mean, now it's a different time. Now children seeing things earlier, social media, all this kind of thing is at that kind of dangerous time. So how should a parent
challenges now?
Yeah. So how should a parent now talk to or approach their children about sex? Because it's very important, especially with a lot of predators out there, you know, they teach them about the good touch, bad touch, that kind of thing. How should parents approach their children with sex?
First and foremost, the formative years of a child is from 2 years of age. Teach the child the right words for their penis and their vagina and their breast. And
there's flour and thing and all kind of
chocolate. Yeah. And all them kind of stupidness.
Yeah.
Say that is a penis and this is a vagina, and that the children don't want to know anymore. That's all they want to know. They want to know the truth. And you see, if you as a parent are truthful with your child is going to believe in you more. Your child is going to come to you.
I agree.
They're going to come to you with instances where other children are afraid to go to their parents. Your child will come to you because you're truthful to them.
Trust, yeah.
Trust. Build that trust.
Yeah.
The first thing you need to do, as any parent, is to learn yourself. Understand things for yourself. Get the knowledge from somewhere. That's why
people still saying they're not hearing you, boy Raj, boy. People still saying they're not hearing you.
I can't understand that. You guys are hearing me, right?
Yeah, we hearing you. Just put the volume all the way up on your phone, people. Put the volume all the way up, and you will hear.
I think they need to do that because everything is okay on my end. So
okay.
So what persons need to do is first of all get the information and get correct information. There's a lot of false information out there. I heard you talking about drinking punch and putting something in your back and whatnot. Those are all fallacies and basis right.
Yeah.
When you go to drink a punch are made with condensed milk. You know why they make it with condensed milk? So it will taste good. But the sugar will give you diabetes. If you're drinking a punch every day, you're going to get diabetes. If you're drinking alcohol to have sex, you're going to get diabetes. Alcohol gives you diabetes. So you have to think logically. If peanuts is good for me, maybe peanut butter is something I could use. Now, in Trinidad, we use peanut butter for everything other than what it was meant to be, which is to spread on a sandwich and eat it. So you can take peanut butter and eat it. Okay, that's peanut butter. Let's talk about something else. I might say, well, if I drink a alcoholic beverage and I chase it with a beer, that's good for sex. It is not. You see, those are the psychological part of it. You think it's good for you, so you start acting differently until you have a breakdown. And this is
because it's the power of the mind, right?
Power of the brain. But there are foods that are good for you. There are foods that are good for you. But one of the challenges we have in society, and I'll tell you this, because we live in a petrochemical society and we live in a fast-paced society. Trinidad is one of the countries in the world where we burn the candles at two ends and the middle when it comes into carnival. We like to fet. We like to enjoy life. I'm not condemning it. I'm not putting it down. I like to enjoy life too. But we don't take care of ourselves the way we should while enjoying life. Because when you're enjoying life, you're pumping alcohol into your system. You're smoking cigarette.
Right.
You're using marijuana. But I go to fet. I go to line. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarette. I get high off of people. I get high off of music. I get high off of life. I enjoy myself.
Diabetes.
Yeah. I could watch a crowd and get high off of the hype.
Wow.
Because I believe that the bass of the music, the pumping of the music will drive you in a certain way. And that's where the spirituality comes in, because I'm a Shivite. And Lord Shiva is Damru, the drum. So if you're a Shivite, you understand the vibration of the drum, you understand the vibration of the bass and what it does to you internally. It's like listening to music.
Frequency.
It's like listening to music and you don't hear that bass. Music without that bass is no music at all. It's flat. It's flat. So the bass drives your... Okay, let me give you a good example. Both of you have listened to Tassa before. Have you ever listened to Tassa? Have you ever listened to Tassa and keep your foot planted to the ground? Don't you?
You must move. You must move.
You must move.
Correct. And that's the feeling of the drum. That's the spirituality. Now, if you take that and you transport it into life, and you transport it into sex, and you transport it into connectivity. Now, one of the things that I said is I'm married for 37 years, but do you know the woman I married was my girlfriend for 10 years before that? You talk about 47
Okay.
years of my life. I'm
Wow.
57 years of age. I met her in high
Wow.
school. We are together 47 years. We have our.
Yeah, but how does one do that by Raj?
Where is the
That
secret?
is where
I
the
was
secret.
about to
That,
ask you that,
how
right?
does one do
What
that
is the
to be
secret?
with one woman for all them years, boy?
I want to be with, I want
As
to
a,
be,
as a
I
sexologist,
want to be with she in this life and the other lives.
Wow,
Not only now.
that's
as a
very
matter of fact,
difficult for some men to do.
oh,
it is because if you don't get that connectivity base, it will never happen. If
Yeah.
you don't, I mean, I have always been truthful and honest with her, telling her what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, who I am, and all these things. And she stood by me through thick and thin. Even when I became a sexologist and I started to do radio, all people will condemn her.
Yeah. If even with the angels are wrong. Remember the Dr. Raj angels?
Of course she knows the angels. They will talk to her. If I say I'm going out with the angels, she have no problem with that. Because she knows who I am. She knows who I am. And that's the important point I'm trying to get across. Because she knows who I am, she allows me to do certain things that other men will wish they could be allowed to do.
Boy, it has some men can't even talk to our next woman.
Correct. And if a next woman comes to talk to me when my wife is there, she'll walk away.
Yeah.
And never ask the question who's that or what it is about. Because you see, you create that as you go along in life. That's why you have to treat your spouse well. You have to treat your spouse as a queen. You have to make sure that if you want to get these things, you better be able to give it. You must be able to give it. You have to make that person feel, first of all, they must not feel insecure with you. Give them that sense of security that you are there.
But Roger, there's some women, no matter what you do, they're insecure. No matter what you do, boy. Oh gosh, you kneel down on the ground and kneel down and say, baby, look, I'm secure. You're secure, nothing, I ain't doing nothing.
No,
I do nothing.
You
know what I mean? And they still by
for years. For years.
I'm telling you, boy.
I watched that, Raj. I feel he have a certain type he going after for years.
Is he type? Red woman.
I thought I was going to say that. I'll tell you a little secret.
Yeah.
When you are getting to know someone, don't start with a lie. Never start a relationship with a lie. If you borrow your partner's shirt to go and meet the woman, say, darling, I borrowed the shirt to come and meet you. Don't say it's your shirt. Because next week when she say, hey, put on a nice shirt and come and meet me now. Oh, I see a friend around. You say, girl, I tell you it's not mine. I borrowed it to come and meet you because it's so nice. I want to look good. You turn it around. You're making that you're poor and you can't afford a shirt. I'm just using that as an analogy. You're not making it out that you're so poor that you cannot afford a shirt. You're saying, girl, you're so fine. I have to borrow a shirt to come and see you, girl. I want to look. I want to present myself to you. So you pull up.
You keep it real. As we're on the topic of realness, right? Very important because, before, this interaction with tonight, people say, Raj, just bring it really, just bring it real. Being a sexologist with all the knowledge that you have, what are your thoughts on open relationships?
I think it's something, if you manage it properly, it can work for you. If you don't manage it properly, it could cause a downfall in your relationship. Open relationship is not only you saying, yes, we have an open relationship, You must go through these scenarios in your mind of if this person does so and so, what it does to you. And put yourself in the scenario and see if you can handle it. A lot of people can't handle the things that they say they could handle, And some persons, because they are selfish, they say, I want an open relationship because they want to have another woman. But you see, you can have another man. How is that open? So if you are prepared mentally to do those things, physically to deal with it, and you have the capacity to accept the challenge and deal with the challenge, then it's good to experiment. But be careful how far you go with your experimenting.
Because that is where I'm going. Because all right. Remember, sex is a very important thing. A lot of times, a man might have sex with a woman, but he's still in love with the person that he is in love with, right?
Of course, men
but for some reason, when a woman decides to have sex with a man,
It's more of an emotional attachment. All right. So now it is we have an open relationship. All right. How does that affect based on the man and the woman? Because as I said, a man might have sex and it might be nothing. Or when a woman has sex, majority of the times it's an emotional attachment.
That's correct.
Or we could have an open relationship in that.
But let me ask you a question. Yes, there is a connectivity. Can you love, forget your mother and your sister and your auntie and nene and grandmother. Can you love two women at the same time with the same intensity? Based?
I don't think so. I that's not about me. I would if that is the case, I think you will always have a preference.
But just a night.
I'm not talking about preference. I'm talking about loving two persons with the same intensity. You love this person, you love that person.
Yeah. But just tonight I was watching a video with a man. But just tonight I was watching a video with a man who's acting a polygamist, and he has many, but different wives, a lot of different wives. I mean, like for example, in that when you have different wives, I mean, when this wife, but I mean, everybody have an understanding. But the man have about 5 wives, and he's showing each other and all kind of thing. And like in a case like that, I mean, one wife had to be the main wife. Then you're coming on and coming on and coming on and coming on. But in terms of the intensity, I doubt he could, you know, have that kind of thing with all of them.
It's a strange thing. You can have that sort of relationship if you can control this here. See, this the mind.
It's all in the mind. Yeah.
Right. The mind. Not all in the mind. You have to create it and you have to control it. Now, if you can do that, isn't it the same for the woman? Obviously, yes. We sometimes say, well, okay, it's because women are emotional, but they could have emotion for 2 things at the same time also. So the physical act is a satisfaction of something that you want to you want to satisfy a part of you. You want to satisfy something within you that is a physical thing. The emotional attachment is what has to be controlled. Right. That's for open marriages. But basically, you wanted to ask me some other question. I think you had asked before. I can't remember now. Same thing with relationships and whatnot. But controlling, you see, when we get involved in situations, we sometimes tend to let our ego take over what is reality. Now, at the Adult Therapy Center, I deal with all these things. I have an Adult Therapy Center within the realm of my business. I sell adult toys. I have massage parlors. I do everything with sex. Anything, sex is my business. Full stop. I make no apologies for that. So I see and hear everything sexual that is happening in Trinidad. My finger is on the pulse. It's on the pulse with what's happening with Tom, Dick, and Harry Lal. And Tom, Dick, and Harry Lal's wife. I have put together orgies for many years. Every Tuesday night was an orgy night. I used to tell my wife, I have an orgy tonight. I'm going to see about that. And just put it together. Listen to people. Hear what they're doing. Get a feel.
I always tell your wife is an angel.
There's a question on the live. Someone wants to know, does he have an open marriage? Question.
I think it's open, yes, because we do things to satisfy ourselves. Yeah.
Right.
And we still together. But you see, people, what persons, the funny thing about it, person think of open marriage is about sex, you know. It's not. Yeah. It's not. It's like this. Base, how many years you have known me? Have you ever seen or heard my wife call me?
No, and while you're on here, no.
At no time. Persons who work with me for years say your wife don't call you. My wife will
sometimes I used to even wonder, I say, Raju, this wife you have is an imaginary wife or what? I know why she's that's why I tell her your wife is an angel, boy, Raj.
My wife will only call me at 6 o'clock in the evening to find out if I'm coming home so she can have dinner with me. That's it. That's it. That's how open we are.
How did you get there in that relationship? Because, all right, all relationships will have the ups and downs. But for some reason, it sounds like, you know, your relationship well balanced for some reason.
No, she accepts him. She accepts him.
I met a guy who is a mover and shaker in society. We went for lunch at time. And we were talking about the very same thing. We were talking about my wife. He said, Raj, I have to go and meet your wife, you know. He came back to my office and I said, the lady who was there, that's my wife. And he said, no way. I said, yeah, that's my wife. He went back and he said, I give you a trophy. I give you a trophy. because he just couldn't believe, and she just smiled. She just smiled. She took it as for whatever it is. I mean, for security and safety, sometimes I might call and say, "You're all right. You're heading home. Everything okay?" But that's just for security. It's not like we're there and listening in the background to hear what's going on. I'm not like that. She's not like that. So I could only use myself as an example, because I cannot use another couple or another person. I use myself with my wife, my children, my mother, my father, my godfather, my guru. My guru was one of the most learned pundit and revered pundit in this country. And he used to listen to my programs. And he used to tell me what book in Hinduism had what I spoke about at any particular night. That's the connectivity and the spirituality I have with my guru, my parents, my wife, my children. What else do you
Nice, man. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, you have a nice day, boy, Raj. Now, we want to get back to the sex and anybody who has any questions, of course, you know,
yeah, feel free to come on the live.
On the live, join the live, ask the questions. Now, what are some of the most common things that people would come to you at your, you know, your sexual therapy center?
Well,
where's it located? Where's it located? Where's it located? You're still in by you there?
I used to be at St. Augustine only. Now I'm in St. Augustine, Debe, Princestown, and Warners.
Okay, nice, man.
So I'm well spread in Trinidad.
Yeah, nice.
I used to be in Tobago, but the Tobago clientele is a little different from Trinidad. I deal with everything, but basically, you know, the number one question that was always asked on the program is, how do I get my penis bigger?
Okay.
People don't ask, how do I...
Serious? Venezuela ask that?
Always. Number one question. Number one. They never ask, well, how do I use what I'm, by God-given tool and talent to satisfy my partner? And that is what you need to do. Because, let me give you an example. A man with a 4-inch penis wanted 8 inches. A man with a 6-inch wanted 12 inches. A man with an 8-inch wanted 12 inches. A man with a 12 inches wanted 20 inches. They always wanted bigger. But this is one of the things that I face. Now, we do penis enhancement. We have a wonderful program called the FAMOS program. We have a 94% success rate. But it doesn't...
Did you hear that there, RKG? I was telling RKG.
I good enough.
Okay.
I'm good, but listen, I'm open because he's educating us here. So I'm very open.
Every inch matters.
It doesn't take a 6-inch penis and make it 9 inches. Cells are 3-dimensional, so you can make it grow this way or that way. It grows.
Yeah, but these things like penis pumps and all them things and the pills that you see people selling, do they work? Those things?
You know why they don't work when people sell it? They don't have a program to go with it. They don't know how to tell you to use it. They don't know what pill the person should be using based on their age. They don't know about mathematics. They don't know the mathematical formula to work out what will happen to the person. That's why it doesn't work. A pump doesn't pump air into the penis, you know. It creates a vacuum and it expands the penis like you're exercising the penis.
You know, funny enough, Raj, you would mention that is one of the main things, because I would think to myself, a man might be ashamed to go and ask that question, you know, or even talk about that.
Men want help out there.
It's the number one question. The number two question is, how do I last longer? Most men are minute men. Most men are...
I can understand that.
So, we have a program to teach men how to last longer. We have a program. I have been doing this for 30 years. My clinic has been treating individuals from all over the world. Because of cricket, I am well known throughout the world. Because the cricketers, the old cricketers, the new cricketers, they all know me. They come by me. Sometimes they're going down in age and they want a little booster and thing. They come by me. They will spread the word when they go outside, because another cricketer will be telling one, you know, hey boy, I need so and so. All of a sudden, I'll get a text message from a cricketer in Jamaica. I need so and so. You, Dr. Raj? I say, yes, of course. Well, I got it from so and so in Trinidad. Same thing up with India, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan. I have people from all over the world coming for. When the minister was talking about medical tourism, I was already doing that. I had people coming to that for sexual help. Guyana, Suriname, Brooklyn, Miami, Texas, all over the place. But the point I'm trying to make is, when you're dealing with individuals, it's psyche you're dealing with, and you're dealing with a wide range of people, male and female. And you have so much issues that people have. For example, let's say we were just talking about the punch and oysters and those things. But if you have low testosterone, no matter what you do, it's not going to help you, you know. It's not going to help you. And sometimes a person will see a tablet back to boost testosterone, but there's no food, there's no tablet that boosts testosterone. It helps you to maintain testosterone, but it doesn't raise your testosterone. That's fallacy in advertising.
Okay. So what actually raises your testosterone? You have to get the injection, or you have a program for that, of course.
Correct. You have to get the injection. It's called HRT, hormonal replacement therapy. Right? So if you don't know what you're doing, you could mess up someone also. But because my background was in bodybuilding, weightlifting, sports,
right,
I have the technology and the information from then. So I transformed that from sports into sex.
Right.
So it was a transition.
Well, that data.
Right. So
yeah,
like I will talk about on my TV program, I talk about a book called Death in the Locker Room and the E Factor. That is for guys who are overdosing on testosterone, who are using too much testosterone. That's why you see they end up with breasts. They have shrinkage of the penis or the gonads, and they can't perform sexually. But they're taking testosterone for strength. Because you need
so they might be big and strong, but in the bedroom the girl feel it.
They're unable to perform because they have damaged their testicles. They have damaged their ability. No, not everyone, not everyone. Because there's always an exception to the rule. Everything that you do, medically, physically, financially, or otherwise, there's always an exception to the rule. And we understand that also. You know, one of the things as a sexologist, we are very different from a medical doctor. If you come and tell me, hey partner, hear this stuff. You see that fella they call Base? He went by Oberman and he do something for me to dead, you know. I can't perform, you know. Now if you believe that, I believe it too. Because that factor. You'll say, that man is a real Oberman boy. I say, here what? Let me cool it. If you think he do that, let me deal with it. You know any Oberman? You know anybody who can help you out? Forget the Oberman. Go by a pastor, go by a priest, go by a pundit, go by a imam, and tell them to do a prayers for you. So that takes care of the spiritual part of it, the mess up mind kind of thing. And let's deal with the physical part. When we start dealing with the physical part, though, I will find the reason, the underlying cause of your problem, and I will start treating that. But you'll expect a miracle that tomorrow you could go and, as we say, put on work. I'll tell you, no, mash your brakes. When I tell you could go and put on work, that is when you go and put on work. Not before.
Yeah. Nice. It's a process.
Of course.
Now the process is different for everyone. A 35-year-old coming to you with an erectile dysfunction is different from a 25-year-old or 18-year-old. And we have it.
Wait. Raj, 25-year erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Of course.
So young, boy.
I have had.
What causes that? What causes that? As somebody at that damn age.
That question. Fast food, fast life, not taking care of yourself, lack of
unhealthy living.
Let me tell you a big killer right now with young men. They spend time on social media in the middle of the night. They're going to sleep 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and not getting night rest. The body needs 6 to 8 hours of night rest each night. Now, well, not every night, but as you age, you have to know how to adjust that. Because that depletes testosterone. And that same young man will not be able to perform. A morning erection only comes about if you have gotten enough night rest, you know. There's not a piece.
So that's a good thing when you have the morning wood, as they call it.
Yeah. That's a positive sign. Anytime you start losing that, it's a sign that something is going wrong.
Oh,
it's your alarm system that God gave you to tell you something going wrong, Reds. What do we pay most attention to? Not our sex life. But we don't pay attention to it when it's going bad. We always think that if we drink a punch, or if we go on and we start to overdo it, and we make it worse.
Yeah, boy.
All right. No, hear this, right? No. I can't talk for Base. I can talk for myself, right? No. I'm in my 30s now. When I was in like from 18, 17, 18, sex drive was up there, right now. I've said this before, right? I've said this before. People say, boy, you lie, boy. That could never be happened. That could never happen before. It had times where I went 8 rounds, sex, right?
Use John Holmes?
Now, some people, 8. Listen, right? Some people say, nah, that's unbelievable. But you, as a doctor, you know, a sexologist, but obviously now it decreased. Now I can't pelt like I was pelting before, right? But how many? What is the
limit?
What should I say, boy? The number of, like, for instance, somebody come to you and say, all right, I could do a 8 or do a 7. The time people would come to you still with that amount, or does it have an age bracket?
There are guys that I know personally who are clients of mine in their 40s and 50s who could do a 5 rounds. There are guys.
Serious.
There are guys who I know in their 20s who can do 1 round. It all depends on how you take care of your body and your drive, your libido. Your libido is a sex drive. So we all have a libido. We all have a sex drive, and it's related to the hormones in our body, which is testosterone. Yes, it is possible for a man to go 8 rounds. It's possible for a man to go 10 rounds. In porn, what you see in porn is not real. I'll tell you that. So you mentioned John Holmes. I lie with John Holmes already, personally. I lie with man in Miami.
For those who know John Holmes was a white man with one of the largest penises in porn.
He said, take it, right? We were sitting at a table and take it at a table. He was sitting on the chair and take it out and rest it on the table. That's no joke. Live. But I will tell you something with porn. What you see in porn where a man going 3 and 4 and 5 rounds, that is filmed over a number of days, you know. It's not instant. So porn, if person use porn as a measurement, it's not real. Now maybe you had, not maybe, the time that you did that, you had everything working for you. The chemistry between you and the person. You had the drive, you had the ability, you know what you was doing. But now as you have gotten older, maybe the wrongs that you were doing, now remember, you said at 18 or 19 until you had the drive. I call it the breeze blowing effect. If the breeze blow hard, you get an erection. Correct? But now, if it have a storm, as you get older, if it have a storm, sometimes you can't get an erection.
You need a hurricane over. A tsunami.
No, and what brings about that? The experiences you have had in your past will determine your sex drive later on. It will determine the turgidity of your erection, the way the penis feels for the person. Sometimes the connectivity is not there with the person you're having sex with. Sometimes the connectivity is great, so you can do anything out of this world, but it doesn't take only a penis to satisfy a woman. You can satisfy a woman with your tongue. You can satisfy a woman with your finger. You can satisfy a woman with the things that you say and do. Why the hell you only need a penis?
So we're trying to say a man who penis is working good could come with the tongue and take away a woman?
Of course. Of course. There are women who enjoy. There are women who enjoy.
Who enjoy that more. Yeah.
There are women who enjoy.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned from my wife early negates is that don't expect that every time we lie down and we cuddle that it's leading to sex. And she made that very clear.
Yeah. I just get myself in trouble for that still.
And I adjusted my drive. I adjusted my drive and my life to accommodate that in my mind. That's here what it does not always lead to that. And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
There are some women who like to cuddle. There are some women who like to hold hands. There are some women who like to hug up. But it doesn't always have to lead to sex. But one of the things I also remember is that if you allow that to happen where it doesn't lead to sex, the next time you're getting sex is the best sex in your life, you know.
Yeah.
No, we're talking a lot about men. Sorry, about the men, dysfunction in men and so. What about women? What about some of the problems that women have?
One of the major problems women have is dryness of the vagina, not being turned on by their partner enough because of the treatment that they get from their partner relative to what the expectations. The way sometimes some men keep themselves, it's not a turn on to the woman. Bad breath, the way they dress, the way they approach them as a slab of meat, you know. Or it may be your wife. Some men who are married think that because I'm married to you, sex is a must. It's not. It's not. Yeah. So the relationship sometimes falters. So women have issues with that. Some women have polycystic ovaries. Some women have problem with their period. Some women have issues with what you call the Bartholin gland, non-secretion by the Bartholin gland. Some women need a lot of foreplay to get into the mood. So let's use this. Let's use this. A guy is a minute man, and a woman takes on average 20 minutes to get from point A to orgasm. How the minute man is going to satisfy her?
No way.
Correct.
No way.
He could if he starts with foreplay, oral sex,
right. Well, yeah.
and then penetrate.
Right.
But he penetrates at the time when the woman is at her peak and she's about to climax also. So you have to know yourself.
You have to know when to. You have to know when to.
Correct.
On the topic of that and climax, right? Dr. Raj, how important sex toys is in a relationship?
It depends on the couple. It depends on the woman using it. It depends on the guy commitment to it and he not fearing a toy. Toys could be a very it's something that sometimes I recommend to clients, because you see their relationship heading down a particular way. The woman is dissatisfied because she's not getting what she wants from the man. You can use a simple toy as an egg, which is a vibrating egg on the vagina. You could use something like a butt plug for those who want to enjoy anal intercourse. There are so many toys that you can use that is not intimidating to the male. Some men are intimidated.
But there's a question too, should a man, a lot of men are intimidated by their women having toys. Maybe the toy don't know. If let me say a woman, you know, you have your husband and stuff, and you want to invest in a toy. Should a woman, and you know your man is like 6-7 inches, should you buy a 12-inch toy to make your man feel bad?
That's a good question.
It's a question. Yeah.
But remember, the elasticity of the vagina would accommodate a 12-inch dildo and accommodate a 4-inch penis, you know.
Yeah,
correct.
Nobody man might get harassed, a man might say, oh God,
Raj, I didn't think cutlass will leave back in water.
What's that?
Yeah, but
I think cutlass will leave back in water.
Correct.
Yeah.
The
man might say, gosh, girl, how you gonna do that? And especially if she hiding it and he happen to find it one day, that could emasculate a man.
But it's better she do it with a dildo than the man with the 12-inch. Don't you think? I will tell you what I will do. Take the sexologist part out of it. I will go and if I use it.
Yeah, okay.
How you like it? Which way you like it? How much lubrication you need? Let me use it in our foreplay. She's going to embrace you more.
Yeah, but some men might say, I no problem with that toy, but don't buy nothing bigger than me. Some men might say that.
That's fine. And some women do that.
Compromise.
I have a lot of customers will come and tell you they're looking for a vibrator or dildo, but it must not be larger than 6 inches, 7 inches. That's why we have a variety of size. We are from 2 inches all the way up to 20 inches.
What? Roger said 20 inches? I really saw a video. I saw,
You never been
No, never. I've been there, one in, St. Augustine, but I didn't really notice the toys and stuff, but 20 inches.
I'll show you.
Yeah, but 20.
And also,
yeah.
We call
Jesus
it
Christ. Wow.
And I had somebody buy that. I had somebody buy that for their partner and came back and told me he want a bigger size.
A man bought that for his
Nah!
You wanted that?
Serious?
Hey.
I don't make
it's best he do so. Instead of swimming.
We had to have it.
No, hey, no, funny enough, right? Funny enough, Base mentioned that years ago. No, I shouldn't be talking this on the line, but I go, you know, we in open here.
Yeah, talk about Chingo.
I remember going the first time I watched a blues, right? The name of the blues was called Taboo. I never knew it.
Yeah, man.
The name of the blues itself was
the best blues ever
right.
made.
I was going primary school, right? And Arab brethren, like his parents was really into them thing. That's so that the days of fear.
Starring, what's her name? Go ahead, K. Parker. I'm not in real.
Right.
I'm not in real.
Right. Don't check this, right? It had Beta Max in those days, so I'm going way back. And school over early, and he said, boy, about 5 only boys. 5. When they come and see this, first time I watching our news now, we sit down and we watching and we be like, we in honor. We, oh, wait, this was what sex is? Because they're growing up and hearing people talking about it, you know, little thing, but to actually see it was a whole different vibe. It was a whole different vibe. And that is why, back to what he said initially, sex education is very important when it comes to children.
Yeah, and now
Very,
we talk
important.
about sex education in schools now. I mean, they've been having that, you know, toss up for a long time. I think it's about being 2021, boy. It's important to have that, and a man like you should be spearheading that sex education in schools. Where are we reaching that? You're seeing that in the future?
We have regressed when it comes to that. Long ago, I was invited to talk to students at school. After a while, the Ministry of Education, not because of me, but because of other things, I want to send out a circular and say, people cannot come and talk about certain things in school. The problem we have in Trinidad base is too much religion. Religion trumps everything. So the minute you talk about a condom, somebody says, shut your mouth, don't talk about a condom. You're trying to encourage people to use condom. But you have to think about it in this way. Children are going to learn about sex regardless of what we do.
Yeah.
They have these devices called a smartphone, and it's smarter than we could ever be. So they will get opportunities to look at things. Look at what the gentleman said, that going primary school, you see Taboo. And Taboo is one of the most fantastic porn ever made. Taboo 1, 2, and 3, not 4. 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, you start off good there, boy, RKG, boy. You start off good.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
It's classic, boy. Classic porn, boy.
But what you learn in that movie could determine for the rest of your life how you view sex and what you think about sex. You know? Because it's all about
Yeah.
That's why it's called Taboo.
Yeah.
So sometimes a person will come to me with an issue, and when I check back the history, like RKG would say, I would hear that the first movie they look at was so and so. Then I start getting an idea why they're thinking along.
You understand? Yeah.
So that's why the education part of it is important. When I go to LA, I have friends who are in the porn industry. They make movies. I bring them to Trinidad. We have live shows and all these things. You know, the biggest show we ever had was at Zen for three days when we brought down strippers from all over the world.
Okay.
7 years ago. The biggest.
Wow, you had like a hedonism in Zen.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But what I'm saying is that if you teach children the right things, the right words and things as they're growing up, there's no fear of things later on. And if you let them know that this is entertainment, it's like watching a movie. If you go to see an action movie, would you want to see a skinny man with a machine gun and he can barely hold it up? And you want to see a man who can hold the gun with one hand? You'll get an Arnold Schwarzenegger or one of them like that? That's why in porn, they get somebody who's well endowed. They get a woman who could bawl and scream and make noise at the drop of a pin. But I have seen in porn set where the woman will tell the man, I'm not going to get you hard, you know, it's not your girlfriend, you know. You can pay for a job, I can pay for the same job. You better get it hard. But that is behind the scene. Nobody hears that. Nobody sees that. The producer and myself and whoever is there, we hear it. We see it. I have seen us do their work to get the guy hard. Sometimes they spend
No, check this out, right? Don't check this out, Raj. No, a lot of people would have sex in their room, but to have sex in the open with a producer, with a director, that is out.
Yeah, boy.
Explain that, because it goes back to the mind.
Well, I do a lot of live shows in Trinidad. I have done a lot of movies also, and I could tell you sometimes you have to coax the director, you have to coax the actor and the actresses.
Yeah, and you're saying cut. They just say cut. Okay, go again.
Yeah,
and the man still have to be hard.
Everything. Sometimes you have to stop everything and let them relax enough to get back into it. It's not an easy thing. That all are bright lights and about 10 people in the room. One person with a boom mic, the other person under there with a camera, the next one on top of the bed like this. You're seeing it because the man with the camera here has to make sure you get the one over.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that except you are the actress. It's not easy.
No. I don't wanna stray too much from what we're talking about, but you know, as we have been in conversation, I experienced something a few years ago, right? I work at Next 99.1 TTT radio station. They have a station called Talk City
I've
91.1,
been on Talk
which is
City.
also
I've been on
on
Talk
the
City many times.
right. So I remember walking into work a day, and we have announcers room where sometimes if a visitor come, they would have them sitting there until you know, it's time for them to be interviewed. And I remember just having a conversation. Now it's a guy. I don't know if you remember him, an Indian guy, a short guy. You know, he used to do a lot of lecturing about HIV. He actually had HIV. All right, he's an older guy. And I don't know if he alive still, right? And he was in the room, and he was in the room with another woman. You know, a woman, nice and thick, and you know, she was saying that she's going on the show to talk about her experience having HIV.
Right.
Right? And the question is, all right, she told me, well, I was like, all right, so you have HIV, cool, you have kids, you're married. She said, no, she don't have kids, but she's married. But the guy that she's married to don't have HIV. They having sex. She has HIV, but he doesn't have HIV. I don't know if you could explain that.
Okay. When HIV first came out, it was a misunderstood virus. Maybe as the coronavirus is now. It was only supposed to affect homosexual, Haitian, and black people. Supposedly. Of course, we know that's a fallacy now. People were having sex, who were having sex openly, because in our time when it came out, I happened to be in Florida when that came out. The only thing we had to worry about was syphilis and gonorrhea. Nothing else. What I call run-ins. But here we had a disease that came out, a virus that came out that was killing people. But we didn't have to worry about it because it was only homosexual, Haitians, and blacks. That's what was told to people. Then you had people getting infected with it, and their viral load will change. You have people dying from it. You have people who were married, but mostly homosexual were the ones that they were studying. But then you realize it went to the heterosexual community. But in the heterosexual community, there were persons who were living with HIV but never knew they had HIV. There were persons who built up an immunity towards HIV. There were persons who had HIV and they were married and they were having sex with condom. They weren't exchanging fluid because they say it was passed on by the fluid, which is what it does.
Right.
Over the years, now HIV came out in HIV virus, yes, that came out in 1982. It hit the world with a bang in 82.
I'd be 5 bored, you know.
Right. But we're still living with it. So you could have the HIV virus, you could have the HIV virus, and you don't have full-blown AIDS.
Yeah.
The virus is something different from AIDS. AIDS attacks the immune system. So there are people who are living with the HIV virus, but they don't have AIDS.
So could you get the HIV and live all your life and never get AIDS?
Correct.
Of course.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Especially now when with medication and everything.
With cocktails, there are cocktails now that you don't even show the viral load.
Yeah. And as we're talking about virus right now, let's talk about coronavirus. It's you know, there's a I don't know if there's a myth going around that the coronavirus, one of the after effects, it could affect a man's impotence. And of course what Nicki Minaj said that nonsense with the swelling of the penis and thing. Tell us about your, you know, what you think about.
That's two different things, you know. It is a known fact. It is a known fact that if you get the coronavirus, one of the side effects of it is kills your sex life, both male and female.
Okay. All right. So that difference.
That's an established fact. Getting the vaccination, which I explained today to a reporter, getting the vaccination where they introduce the virus into your system, you could have the side effect of temporary erectile dysfunction. But if a person say they got impotent from using the virus, I think they're using the virus as an excuse. Maybe they had impotency before. Maybe they have low testosterone level. It is not because they took the injection. I have had some clients say that they notice a decrease in their sex life, and that is natural. If you're fighting a virus within your system, you're not going to have a good sex life. It is understood. But to say that you became impotent because now I don't know the veracity of her statement, how true it is. I don't know her cousin. I don't know anything like that. But to get swollen testicle from a vaccination is kind of strange. But it could happen. It could happen. But it would happen only if the person had some other issues before.
Issues from before.
Issues. Right.
Not
Right.
because you took the vaccination mean that would have happened. So maybe he had mumps, maybe he had damaged testicles from football, somebody kick him in his groin, playing cricket, a ball hit him, and now he's seeing the effects of it. I don't know anything about the gentleman, and I don't know anything about Nicki Minaj, and I'm not going to say what she says is right or wrong. All I'm saying is that she is an important member of our society in terms of being an artist. People listen to her. So you have to be careful of what you say and how you say it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. For example, me, I will tell someone it's better to get a vaccination and be protected from a virus that could kill you. The virus could kill you. As opposed to not getting a vaccination and getting the virus. Get something and be protected.
Have you been vaccinated?
Of course. Of course. As soon as it came out. As soon as it came out, I went and get that. I told a little fib to get it, but I wanted to get it.
Right.
I wasn't of the age.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're smart,
What? Yeah.
if you're smart,
What about
you know when they open the vials of the vials of the injection, you have to use it.
Yeah.
They can't throw it away. So you go there at 2 o'clock in the evening and you'll get it.
Yeah.
All right. Smart. What about swinging, Dr. Raj? Swinging things to spice up your relationship. Let's say your relationship is, you've been, like you say, you've been married for some years. Sometimes 5 years is a long time. 10 years, you get bored. Huh?
Yeah,
What's some things you can do to spice up?
Or the first thing you should do if you want to spice up your marriage, have a proper discussion with your partner. Don't go and make plans. Don't go and make plans and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm contacting this woman down the road. Talk to your partner and introduce the topic in a conducive way, in a environment when you're having dinner. I mean, a romantic dinner, not around the dinner table with the children. You and your wife alone, you start chatting about certain things. Maybe you could put on a movie and you see a scene and say, what do you think about that? I always find that interesting, That's the first stage. Second stage, introduce a toy. See how you feel about a toy. See how she feels about a toy. That is a precursor to getting involved with somebody else. If you find that you're getting jealous of a toy, you think you would get jealous of a man? Think about it.
Communication.
So you take it in stages and you build up it.
Yeah, man.
But check it out, right? Now, it goes back to what you said earlier in a kind of way. Do you think after swinging, all right, how many couples could really do that? You might talk it, but how many couples could really go through that and continue as a lifestyle?
Can I say this? Base, you know this. I have been involved in the swinging lifestyle since I was 17.
Yeah, man. Use a swinger, use matches.
Right?
Yeah.
You could survive a swinger's lifestyle. I have seen many swingers survive a swinging lifestyle and they have been in swinging. I have like about 3 or 4 couples in my club who have been in swinging for 35, 40 years. And they still swing.
Wow.
They still swing. Limited, of course, but they still swing. I have seen persons come to the swingers club and we have to refuse them because we know it's going to destroy their marriage.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah, you could tell.
What? All right. Now you said destroy the marriage, but as a doctor, what would indicate something like that for you to tell them?
Body language, the way the person reacts to certain things. Some guys bring their wife as a ticket, what you call a ticket, so that they can get what they want and they don't want the wife to get it. So
a one-way street.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And some men just want to have a threesome with a woman. Or what if the woman want to have a threesome with a man? You know that work both ways.
Well, that's the first sign. They say, no, we can't do that.
Yeah. So
you ask certain questions. You get from their body language and the way they react to certain things, how they feel about it. But the swinging lifestyle has been around. It's going to be around forever. Nothing in sex is new. Nothing in sex is new. What is new is the technology. That's all.
No, over the years of studying what you do, you would have encountered a lot of different people in different walks of life. I will be touch on something that people do like to talk about, right? It's out there, but they kind of stray from it. homosexuality. You would have had customers or have customers that are homosexual, right? What is your take on it in terms of, do you think someone is born and feels that way or eventually becomes that?
Both. Both. I have had patients who have children, sons and whatnot. For a time they were small, they were young.
Notice they see things.
They saw things, but they blanket off their minds or they say, nah, that can't be so. And
the denial.
Or the boy or the girl grew up to be homosexual. The girl is a lesbian or the boy is homosexual. I have had persons introduced to the homosexual lifestyle and they either bisexual or homosexual. But we all have a bisexual tendency, you know. Just as how we just say we have a male in every female and a female in every male. We do have that because the artistic side of us, the side of the brain that we use, again, it comes back to the spiritual self. But
I was going there because based on spirituality, a lot of times they would condemn something like that. So
no.
It's kind of ironic that you would bring that in conversation.
No. Spirituality does not condemn that. Religion condemns it. Religion and spirituality is two different things.
All right.
Both religion are created to control people. Let's face it. They control you with fear. They control you with telling things like, okay, if you do good, you go to heaven. If you do bad, you go to hell. So you're fearful of going to hell. You're going to burn eternally and whatnot. Fine. Okay, that's what religion teach you. Spirituality don't teach you that. Spirituality teach you about love. Be good to yourself. Be happy. Recognize a higher being. Pay homage to that higher being in however way you want to. You don't have to live your life to serve that higher being. You have to live your life to serve you. That's spirituality. You have to blossom as a human being, whether you're straight, bisexual, gay, homosexual, whatever. You have to strive to be the best. So if a person comes to me and they tell me, well, you know, Dr. Raj, I have had many married men tell me they're homosexual, but they're married and have children. But they cannot live a homosexual life simply because of their religion. I've had many patients tell me that.
Right.
I have had many young men come and...
But it is in situations where their wife know or
the wife don't know.
Where their wife
some of them don't know and some of them their wife don't know.
Okay.
A classic example was one patient coming to me. He was in his late 60s, and it's only after he turned 65 he left his wife and went and lived in the gardener's home on his compound. He was in love with the gardener.
65.
At 65.
He was in love with the gardener.
Yeah.
Wow. He liked tools.
You could always come up with that thing, eh?
Yeah, right.
No. I'm gonna give you a story here.
Hey, watch now, you know your stories will be long and to pass shop and the story.
I ain't talking to Raj. I ain't talking to you. All right, so I am I have an aunt that lives in London, right? She has a lot of gay friends, and I remember at the age of 17, you know, people are now in 2000 and 2021, people are more open now. So a lot of people are open about their sexuality. But back when I was 17, that was like taboo. Yeah, no, right? So I remember my mom telling me, you know, she have a friend coming to spend some time by us, and he is gay, right? So at that time, I was like, what? Wait, and she was like, you know what? He had to use your bedroom because my bedroom is the master bedroom and it had the toilet and everything. So I was like, what are you talking about? You know, 17 at the time. And I remember the person coming and she went out and we had the conversation and me and the man was talking and he was like, you know, your mother spoke to me and she tell me how you feel and, you know, about gay people and whatever. And at that time, in the conversation with him and having the conversation and seeing the individual, how he care about himself, up to this day, my mom and him are still friends. And he was still come to Trinidad. And I kind of
still come in your room?
changed my perspective. Wait, base. my mindset of it
There was a
changed.
transformation because you were dealing with it directly.
Right. So I have the mindset of if that is your lifestyle, if you want to be like that, to a judge, so be it. That is my take on it. You understand? Who am I to judge? You at the end of the day.
Well, RKG, at 17, I met this guy from Trinidad. His name was Vaughn, living in Florida. We became very good friends. And the first introduction he made of himself is, I'm gay. I said, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't matter to me. But the funny thing about it, I used to visit his home. We and a bunch of friends, we used to all hang out together. But he was at Trinidad. He left Trinidad because he was gay. They beat him up at this place, that place in, very famous place, Pelican Inn, because he was gay. And he, one day we went to visit his home and he had a friend who was dying. And we didn't know he was dying from AIDS. His friend, he took his friend to take care of him because he was dying from AIDS. But we had no idea.
Yeah.
But he was my friend. As far as I'm concerned, Vaughn was my friend. It doesn't matter what his orientation is. I was interested in that. I was interested in the human being. I met another girl in school, and the first thing I told her, I said, "You're lesbian." She said, "Don't go saying those things to people." I said, "I'm asking you a question." She said, "Yes, I am."
Straight out.
Straight out. But again, I think if people become a little more understanding of individuals, because you don't know what a person does secretly in their bedroom. You don't know what a person does in their home. So why should I judge you because you look a certain way or act a certain way? You may be more, you may be more of an open person than I think. But of course, if your behavior is in a particular way, then you say, well, hey, what? I prefer to stay away from that. I prefer that not come in my environment. I don't want that taint in my environment, whatever it may be. But sexuality, you see, let's put it this way. Remember I told you everyone has that yin and yang within themselves, male and female?
Yeah.
The things that you enjoy when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years of age, reading, watching blues and whatnot, may not be the things that you enjoy when you're in 20 to 30. And maybe at 35 to 40, you'll realize your true sexuality. You know? It all depends on your development. It all depends on your mental capacity. It all depends on the things that you were introduced to. It all depends on your feelings and what floats your boat.
Yeah, but so it cannot be changed. Like some parents who feel I could beat it out of him, or you change your lifestyle, like you see the boy, make him play more sports or some kind of thing, you know? Make the girl wear more dresses.
The only time you can deal with an issue like that from a scientific point of view is if it was introduced to the individual by rape or by
abuse kind of thing.
Yeah. Not if it's natural. If it's natural, you can't change that. You cannot change that.
Not only individual. It's so funny that we on this topic right here. The individual I was telling you about, he was somebody that was married, had children, and he decided one day that he just want to be honest with himself. Divorced, told his wife, you know, the situation, and that was it there.
Man, know thyself. He would have known himself all along, but he knew he was not happy. So he reached a point in his life where his true happiness was more important than the wife, the children, and everything else. So this is
But sometimes, and women, I believe women know too. They see the signs. But, you know, I always say women love our science project. They love to change a man. You know what I mean? Women love our science project. So you feel, now you go change. You go see this and you go change. You go be on that. You know what I mean?
True. That could be a thing. That could be one of the things that she will look at. Okay. If you walk in with your wife and woman has observed men differently, and you see a nice girl going across, your wife know if you're watching a nice girl. Correct?
Yeah.
She will know if you're watching a man too. She will know that.
And what some fellas or there's guys that don't say, oh cool, look at that bad sneakers he have on, boy. Oh cool, look at that shirt that man wearing now, boy. This time he watching him, man, you know.
True.
Yeah.
But again, we live in a world where things haven't changed as far as homosexuality and lesbianism and things, you know. What has happened is that the world has become more accommodating to it.
Yeah.
So people have come out of the closet. All those who are hidden away has come
out of the closet. RKG, I find you like this topic. I find you like this topic and you're smiling that kind of way, boy. Let me change the topic.
No. Yeah. Oh, listen. Before we flip on the topic, because it's that topic I want to be open, right?
Okay, yeah. You
check it out, right? Open. I remember Raj. The first time going to New York, right? Me and Bridget, you know what I'm talking about. I was rolling with Fro, right? Hama, your boy Hama, right?
Yeah.
And
your good friend.
We in Manhattan. No, you know when the light. Right. You know when the light, you have to cross. Everybody crossing, right? So while everybody crossing, this two women hug up and start to kiss, suck tongue. Fro and I just stand up and watching the woman, so everybody walking normal, and we just said because it was so like we was in an honor. In Trinidad, we wasn't seeing that. But in Manhattan, and everybody walking up the business like everything normal until we was like, well, look what they doing.
But I'm at my gentleman's club, Satori Club. Women just come with women, men just come with men.
It's normal thing.
It's an open
by. Yeah. Now, Raj, do people come at your place in terms of like getting advice for like if a man feel his woman is being unfaithful and vice versa? What are the signs that somebody is being unfaithful to you? Like what are some of these signs that people should look out for?
That's a dangerous thing to say. I'll tell you why. If you start putting, say, okay, if a woman crosses her leg in a particular way, she horning you. That's a dangerous thing to put out there. You will get a feeling. First of all, you will get a feeling that something is not right. When you get that feeling that something is not right, you may investigate and realize that there's a little more than the mortar in the pestle. That's when you start to look at certain things, and you will see subtle changes in the person or dramatic changes. I'll give you an example. There are some men who don't take care of themselves. But if they start in an extra
all of a sudden
with a beautiful woman, they start bathing different, they start dressing different, they start putting on more cologne, they change and they start staying out longer. They get phone call and they go in the toilet with the phone. There are a lot of women out there. There are a lot of women out there who horning their husband right now by phone,
Yeah. They call that a textual relationship.
You're talking before the actual physical one.
Yeah, the textual relationship, the textual.
It starts with the textual and it leads to that.
That's right.
There are many ways now because of science and technology and whatnot to do it. So if you go to pinpoint one particular aspect, long ago, you'll say, well, let's say we live in the 70s. You know, men have 2 families in the 70s. You know, any person could go back to their grandfather and hear that they have children in Mount Hololo and some other place. Think about it. You think they start with me? I am sure if you check your history, somewhere along the line, one of your grandparents would have had 2 families. Or somebody else.
I know Martin.
That goes across the board,
my father had real families.
That goes for Indian, African, Chinese, mixed, Syrian, mulatto, whatever you want to call it, that goes for everybody. I have seen it and I've heard it and I have proof of it. It is not something unique to one culture, one race, one religion. It's unique to human beings. We do that.
No, all right. On this discussion, Raj, a friend, I ain't gonna call his last name, my name too. I would just call Sheldon. Based on know what I'm talking about. He believed that a man in no way should have one woman at all. He believed in, all right, like how dogs would, all right, sleep with other dogs and mate and whatever. He believed there's no way a man should stay with one woman. What is your take on that?
To each his own. And that is a fact, man. By nature, we are hunters and gatherers. we are prone to share our DNA. We have natural from day one, before the invention of marriage, would go and mate with persons, female of the species. Animal does it. We are the highest form of animals. It's in our basic brain.
That's what you would say.
It's in our basic brain. And yes, but you have institution that controls that. You have religion that controls that and tell you it's wrong to do this and wrong to do that. And some people abide by that. But I will ask the question also, because the female look at the strongest of the species to take care of her, isn't it the same thing? You may not be to her liking in terms of your physical ability, so she may look for a stronger man, because that's what they are prone to do, and that is what they are programmed to do.
Right. No, I know you might know this. I know based on this. I was looking at one of those channels on the internet recently, and I recently found out that there's different cultures where one woman would marry about 5 brothers. You know of that?
Yeah, of course.
I was shocked. I was what, this one woman have 5
brothers.
She married to 5 brothers.
Okay, I'll take you back. I'll take you back to my religion. In my religion, you've heard about the Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagwan Gita, yeah.
Well, my grandmother was Hindu from Bamboo, so.
Right. No, but
yeah.
You've heard about the Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, I've heard, yeah.
The Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
One girl was married to 5 brothers, the Pandavas.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does take turns?
Each one of them had her for a particular time.
Okay.
At a particular time, yeah. But now in 2021, we would condemn something like that.
But like I tell you, that's the difference between spirituality and religion.
If
you're a spiritual person, you will understand why that was done. If you're a religious person, you'll say that's wrong. So
yeah, but for real. It's a difference.
No, we will condemn the woman and say she's a old hoe. She has 5 men. But what about the guy who has 5 women? What will you say about him? He's a stud? He's third base?
Hey!
Please, I want to mention yesterday.
Yeah, no, Raj, one thing that has changed over the years is the technology, the social media. Social media is ruining a lot of relationships now. That phone thing, boy. You know what I mean?
True.
Some women, some people have the thing on their phone, the code on your phone, your password, this, that, they put the thing darker so you can't see it right in front of you. You can't see it, all kind of thing, you know?
You
phone in relationship. No. And the social media, all this thing, you know, some men know what a woman on TikTok and Instagram and even on Facebook and that kind of thing. I mean, what you do in terms of you being a sexologist from way back when in the 80s, 90s, coming up to now, how do you approach that, you know, this whole social media and the technology in relationships?
In relationship, there's something called compromise. And if something is bothering an individual in the relationship, you have to find a compromise where it doesn't create a rift in the relationship. So if the issue is that, okay, you're on Facebook, but you have about 1,000 men following you, you might come to a compromise and say, here what? You see your family members, your friends that you went to school with and whatnot, it's fine. But you see the set of men who following you and you always have to...
yeah, but she go tell you, whether it's my phone, you buy that?
Yeah, then she could tell you that, but you have to tell her, do you want the relationship to work? Do
you
want us to be us? Remember,
you
have 2 individuals. 2 individuals that coming together to form a relationship, which is also a unit. So what are you bringing to the unit? If you're bringing disharmony into the unit, then don't have it. Go your separate ways. Because once I am uncomfortable with your behavior and the things that you're doing, and I am trying to tell you, here, what, darling, I love you. I understand that man like you, because if I like you, man go like you. You're a sexy woman, of course.
Yeah.
Don't encourage her. I feel a little threatened by that. And she doesn't understand that well.
So it boils back down to one thing, which is communication.
Communication.
Compromise.
Like, for example, I was in this relationship, and the female, you know, men would call and thing, and she would have the conversation with the men while we driving and thing, you know, I mean, and probably on speakerphone and everything. And her thing was, you know, well, I talking to them in front of you. I just getting kicks of them, I think, but I say I find that is disrespectful.
That
I
is
don't want to know
disrespectful.
if men talking to you on the phone and this and that and all kind of that bullshit. Don't be doing that around me.
No, but that is
You know what I mean?
disrespectful because you and
Yeah,
I
it is.
together, even if we're driving and I concentrating
Yeah.
on the road, we are
Tell them
spending
call him back
time
also.
together. It's not
Right.
your mother calling to find out where you. It's not your father calling to find out if everything okay. You're talking to man. So you're
Right.
going to tell me. So it's okay when we together. If a girl come across to talk to me, I stand up and talk to she. That's okay. Isn't that disrespectful? It's the same thing.
Right.
So you have to put it across in a way that they feel it. You're hitting them a punch with your words. The punch is, here what? No problem. You talk to your man when we drive in. You see, anytime we go somewhere and a girl come across to talk to me, don't get no high for that, eh?
Yeah. Tit for tat.
Raj, tell me, what is the number one complaint women will come to you with concerning their man?
Inability to understand them, inability to satisfy them. We get that a lot. They will tell you, they try to come, okay, a lot of men have erectile dysfunction. 7 out of 10 men, any 10 men in a room, 7 of them out of 10 has experienced erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation. That's a given. Most women will discuss it among themselves or keep it to themselves if they don't want to discuss their man, which they shouldn't be doing. But the dissatisfaction that comes from that means that they are sexually and physically frustrated. So they need to deal with that. So they come to you to just vent sometimes. They come to you to ask, well, what kind of compromise can I come to with myself to overcome that? That's where the toys and gadgets comes in. Some women like spanking, but afraid to tell their husband they want to be beaten.
What? Don't fret to tell me that.
What about the women and they would like to get choked?
Yeah, boy.
Like,
them
a
can't
rough
tell
and
their
thing.
husband that. They can't tell their husband that, so they're dissatisfied in their relationship. Remember, I'm a sex therapist.
Why though?
Yeah, but
what?
remember, I'm a sex therapist also, not only a sexologist. Sex therapist is dealing with things in a sexual way.
Yeah.
That
So it
is
must have a reason the woman like that. Yeah.
I know of women who are, based on the question that you've asked, who are looking for a way to get their gratification without stepping out of the relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
So they will look for a sugar daddy. They will look for a friend with benefits, a one night stand, a something with a next woman, a little tie up and spanking, once a week, once a month, once a year. Once you're married, you're everything honky dory with your marriage. But once every fortnight, I want a good sex.
Yeah.
Different things. And if you understand as a sexologist and a sex therapist, it's not about me, you know. It is about what the person wants and who they want to do it with. So you have to find solutions for them.
No, hear this, right? If there's a situation where, your woman and you decide to have another partner in the relationship, another female, right? How long something like that could last? Is it something that would happen in the moment, or is something that could be continuous?
It could be continuous. It could be a one night stand. It could be a one shot thing, just for the experience. I have had couples who have had that as a one shot thing, and they use that what took place as the fantasy for the rest of their life, sexual life.
Seriously.
Mine.
Mine. You see,
how long should? Yeah, sorry. Go on.
part of sex is that talk, the pillow talk, the dirty talk between you and your partner. So if you have a particular situation that excited you at one time in your life, you could use that repeatedly in the future, in different scenarios.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Role play, call it role play.
All right, I was going there. How important foreplay and role play is in a relationship?
Very
But the
important.
man say that foreplay important. You want to be boring now?
Foreplay is one of the most essential things in a relationship. Let's be real. Some women like their toes to be sucked, you know. Some women like you to turn them over and play with the buttocks. That is foreplay. Some women like
Give them a little massage, something,
Yeah.
a massage. Yeah.
Some women like you to kiss the back of the neck, play with the boobs from behind. They like to feel your body on them.
Kimmy saying here 100 to make joke.
Yeah. Women love them.
Hey, hear this. Base, your friend scissors, hands on the life. He
Hey.
says some men are lazy.
Lazy.
Some men are lazy when it comes to sex.
Lazy, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, true. Yeah, boy. Some men are very lazy. You gotta put in the work. Now, some women have to put in the work too. What if a woman does not like to go down on a man? You know what I mean? It has some women don't like to go down on the man, and it has some men don't like to go down.
It's so funny that they say that.
What?
Base holiday.
What?
All that what they passed, right? Because I was having a conversation with a brethren that you know, and he said something that was real.
Yeah.
Hold on. He said something that was real crazy to me. He said to me, he don't like when girls go down on him. I was like, you mad or what?
Something wrong with don't like oral sex.
Yeah.
Being done to them.
Seriously.
Yeah, because
and so there's some men that only hoes do that.
Oh,
yeah.
With her mouth. And it's his penis, you know.
But your girl have to be a hoe in the bed.
Of course.
Yeah, but some men don't like that. Some men have had a bad experience. I had a friend who had a bad experience.
Some men lose respect for the woman if they start behaving like a
yes.
woman, you know?
Yes, I had a friend, Dr. Raj, who had his girlfriend who used to go down on him, cheated on him. And since that, he don't want no woman going down on him at all.
Because of that?
After that. Yeah, because of that. Yeah, she cheated on him real bad.
I see somebody ask a question. You ask Raj what services he offer. We do therapy, we do consultation, massages, stores, anything you think about in sex, we do it.
Yeah. Feel free to give out your number anytime. Give out your number all the time. Give out your number.
740-1961.
No, Raj.
Okay.
No, Raj. It's an essential massage and thing, right? No. Do you have massages where a woman will come for a massage and will follow me here? And if she want more than that, she can get more than that?
Of course.
Yeah, man.
We have
same thing with the men.
We have couples asking for that all the time. We have women asking for that all the time, and most of the men want that.
Oh. Hey, all right, cool.
Most of the massages you see advertised in Trinidad, I invented them, you know. The name.
Yeah, using massage, man.
I started those things 35 years ago, your friends.
Yeah, you are a man before your time, by with this thing, by.
Raj, after you have decided to retire from what you do, right? What do you want to be remembered for?
Being an educator, helping people, being a pioneer and an innovator. I would like to find the right person. I've given out scholarship for people to go and study to be sexologists, and they disappoint me. I would like to get somebody who I can mentor to be
your protege, right?
Yeah, protege. I would like that. I'm not going to last forever. I may decide one day to just pack up everything and done with it. I love what I do. I love my job. I like helping people. I get a sense of satisfaction doing that. I like seeing society develop and blossom. I like getting high off of people. I enjoy doing these things, but it's not going to last forever.
All right.
You have a lot of questions coming in.
Empress Natty wants to know, I would like to know, can erectile dysfunction be fixed?
Of course. We talked about that already.
Yeah. Of course, we do that. We do that at the adult therapy center.
Get them the number.
645-4543. 645-4543. That's the number for the adult therapy center.
Yeah. Right. Now let's talk about something with especially with younger guys, older women. What age does a woman reach a sexual peak? A lot of people feel when it's younger. Yeah. Sexual
in her late 30s. Women reach a sexual peak at around between 37, 38 to about 45. And especially when you're going through menopause at that time, oh my God, it's a blossoming.
No, you said, I'm glad you said menopause. I have a friend recently who was feeling a little discomfort in her breast and stuff, right? And she was going to do an ultrasound. Of course, when you're feeling that discomfort in your breast, the first thing you might think was cancer, no? Right? Yeah. And well, the nurse said to her, maybe you could be premenopausing.
Yes,
could be premenopause, yeah. and she's about 41, 42, or 43. You know, is that possible premenopause?
Okay.
And what exactly is premenopause?
Let me explain menopause to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Women are
And then,
born with a certain number of eggs. They don't produce eggs. They're born with eggs. The eggs
Right.
mature every month. Some women, like women who have polycystic ovaries, is because they're releasing too many eggs. Once you have exhausted the eggs that you were born with, you go through menopause. It's a stage in life for all women. We have andropause for men, but that is not a stage in life. Andropause is when men have a depletion of their testosterone. Menopause is a stage in a woman's life. She could go through that in her 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s.
wow.
Once a woman go through menopause, she cannot be impregnated again. You know that. So she might feel a liberation. I can have sex without getting pregnant. What happens to the vagina is the vagina is drier. It's thinner. The wall is thinner, so they could tear easily. It's discomforting if they're not properly lubricated. So that's why there's something called the Swiss Navy lube that you use for that. Not cable.
Yeah, they wet it up more. All right.
What is the all right, in terms of, you know, they say a woman have to have a child around a certain age. What is the oldest could they be to have a child?
Can have a child at any age as long as she's having a period. The dangers of having a child when she gets into her 40 is the child could be born with Down syndrome. So you have to discuss that with your gynecologist, your OBGYN, to make sure everything is okay for you to do that. There's no guarantee that the child is not going to get Down syndrome, but it is a possibility.
More questions.
Well done, knowledge boy. Well done, knowledge base. We
Yeah,
learn a lot tonight.
You're Alex, I tell you, you will love it. Look how excited you're smiling.
We learn a lot tonight.
No, in terms of certain jobs, Raj, we always talk about certain jobs. How does your job affect your sexuality or your sexual performance in terms of some of the jobs you do?
Well, if you work in an environment where you're dealing with chemicals, it's going to deplete your testosterone. It's going to cause you to have erectile dysfunction. For example, if you're working in a service station, a gas station, and you're pumping gas all the time, you're smelling the gas. That's why the OSHA Act came out. If you're a welder, if you are a painter, you're fixing vehicles, you're touching an engine, those things go through your pores. You are affected by it. If you're working shift system, it means your body biological clock goes out of whack, you're going to have erectile dysfunction. There are so many things that contribute to erectile dysfunction. It's unbelievable. Most persons in the protective service, the fire service, the prison service, the Coast Guard, or whatever.
Policeman? Serious? And so much women as well.
No. There's a difference. You know. They are affected by that, and they have difficulties with their erection. They have difficulty with their libido.
Serviceman does have erectile dysfunction. Them serviceman ain't good.
No.
Of course, you're saying.
Don't say.
All right, okay.
I feel that serviceman was a man for you, you know.
And what about taxi drivers?
I am using an example to tell people that the lifestyle and the job that you choose can cause erectile dysfunction. That's the question that was asked.
Okay, and people who sit a lot too, taxi drivers too, people who sit for long periods of time.
A hot engine under your buttocks. The balls was never meant to be cooked. The scrotum was never meant to be cooked whole day.
Wow.
So you have a hot engine under your scrotum cooking that all the time. You're not going to produce testosterone. You're not going to produce sperms.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my driver.
Infertility comes in. So there are many things. Women also affect. Okay, let me give you an example. Cooking causes sexual dysfunction in men and women. Cooking. Because a stove is always by your vagina or your penis.
Cooking. Okay.
Think about
That's why some women don't like to cook. That's some women don't like to cook.
Think about the kind of heat that it takes to cook food or bake.
Okay.
And your vagina is the closest thing to it. Or your penis. So you understand? You understand what people go through? No, I'm not telling you don't cook. I'm not telling you don't be a chef. I'm not telling you don't be an officer. I'm not telling you, but you have to know.
To be careful.
And that is what I teach. I teach.
Invest in a deep fryer. Invest in a deep fryer. Let's say invest in a deep fryer.
Same heat. Same heat.
Hey, boy. I learn knowledge. Raj, you know, I really wish, I remember the time we were doing the TV show, you know, I mean, it was from 6 o'clock to 7 p.m. and people had a lot of problems because they found it was too early to be talking about sex. But I think we really need to be more open with sexual
we need
discussions.
that.
Well, you're aware of this. I'm doing a TV show right now on Gael.
Yeah.
It's called
Gael,
the
what
Dr.
time?
Raj show.
Nice.
The show that is taped. Well, now we tape it because you can't be out there at 8 o'clock in the night. It's
Okay.
Pre-recorded,
right? When things open up, it will be live. We have a rerun on Thursdays from 6 to 7 because you have to educate everybody. We have another rerun of the show on a Saturday night from 11 to 12. And we're going to do a raunchy show for 11 to 12 coming soon, a pay-per-view show.
Yeah, man. Very good. I'm glad Gael giving you that opportunity, man.
People, well, Errol Fabian and I have been friends for donkey years, and he's somebody I admire, right?
Yeah, man.
People want that sort of entertainment. For example, to learn how to do BDSM, to learn how to tie a knot, to learn how to do different things.
Yeah.
Raj, over the years of your teaching, right? What would you like to see in terms of sex education in this country?
We are way behind. We need to be more forward thinking. We need to expose the younger generation to the reality of what sex is. Not porn. We need to have persons who are qualified to do it. We don't have qualified persons. We have persons, and we need to have open-minded people doing it, not people who are rooted in religion doing it. You can't be rooted in religion and teach sex.
Sex, yeah.
It don't make.
Someone says, a son says here, does alcohol affect men with producing sperm?
Yes, it does. Alcohol is a poison. Remember, alcohol is a poison.
Look who drinking.
No, well, if you...
I had 3 kids. I good for now. I had 3.
Yeah, you better stop,
You are 1 base. I have 3.
Look at the chemical component of alcohol and poison. It's only one of the elements is different. That's all. It's a different connection. So it is a poison. Anything that is poisonous to the system will affect you. Anything that you do. Now, a glass of wine as opposed to a bottle of rum is a different thing. The strength of the alcohol, where the alcohol was derived from, all these things, you have to look at it. I don't condemn alcohol.
What is our recommended drink to have?
Well, it depends if you're trying to relax, a glass of wine, red wine. If you are out having dinner, cocktail, it all depends on the person and the capacity to hold alcohol also, you know. Like based with the punching rum. You have to worry?
Me? What are you drinking, boy?
No, some people don't indulge in alcohol.
Yeah.
Some people do. But if you want to be a good person when it comes to your sexual activity, limit the things that could be detrimental to you. Limit.
Moderation. Everything in moderation.
Here is question, right? A woman is able to get an orgasm, right? A man is also able to reach that climax.
Yes, of course. Of course, you could have an orgasm without ejaculating. Yeah. It's all part of tantric sex.
Yes. Yeah, man. He teaches that. He teaches that again.
In Tantra, you can learn all these things.
Wow.
You have.
What is that, Raj? For those who are on the live, and because we're going to repost this and we're going to put it up on our YouTube page, right? For those who, based on your knowledge.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't let the live cut off, because look at the time.
Not at all. Based on your experience and your knowledge, for someone who's looking at this live or someone who would see this live in the near future, what is a good book to read for somebody who is into sex education?
There are many books written. Always choose an author who is okay. I'll give you one example. Don't ever go to a person on advice on your marriage who's a divorcee. It's the same thing. Don't read a book written by someone who has never had the experiences. That's why Xavier Hollander was one of the best teachers of things when it comes to sex education. But there are many books now. I can't tell you of recent ones. I can tell you about when I was studying and whatnot. There are books by Dr. Joyce Brothers. There are books by Masters and Johnson. So what I do, let me tell you what I do. If you come to my office, and I invite you to come and visit me anytime. You don't have to pay for the consultation, but Base will have to pay.
All right, nice.
Base has been getting free information for donkey years. You have to pay now.
Yeah.
That's a joke, eh? That's a joke.
Yeah.
I have a library of books in my office. I've read every one, and I continue to add to it.
Yeah, but when are you going to write your own book? I find you a man should have a book about you.
I
Correct.
hired someone to do it, and they failed me.
No, man.
I don't have the time to sit down and do it. You know that.
Mm.
When
Yeah.
you see about people, I dedicate 5 days of the week to see about people and the issues. I hear people problem. I see the worst of the worst. You think I have time to go and concentrate when I come out to write a book? I just want to be out.
So watch that. So you ever get a dramatic call, like somebody calling Raj and say, "Boy, Raj boy, problems boy, I can't stand up boy, I can't stand up."
I'll give you a joke. 20 overs, limited cricket, Trinidad versus Guyana. My wife and I went 7 years ago. My wife and I went and visited my cousin who was dying in Sarangani from cancer. On the Valencia stretch, heading to the cricket, because I was going to the cricket, a guy called, "Dr. Raj, I'm here with my wife, and I can't get it up." My wife said, "Well, if you study the wife and forget to call Dr. Raj, you might be able to make it."
Wait.
Yeah, I get ridiculous call all over.
Pause. Anytime.
Wait.
And one thing you must say, you've always been open there with people.
Because you know I would handle it. But it's the first time I see my wife respond to something. It was the very first time I see that. And I just laughed. And I said, "Brad, this is what you need to do," and that's it. But I've had dramatic call in the middle of the night. My phone is always on. My phone is always on. I give out my number publicly, 7401961. I've done it on radio. I've done it on television. I have it on billboards all over the place.
All right. As you said, I do, right? Because doing that means you put yourself out in the public domain at all time, right? But
correct.
How do your wife feel about that? Because, some women might feel, we need to have our private time. It's Saturday, Sunday, family time. But how do your wife feel about that? You putting out your number or any public domain?
The one thing she don't like me to have a phone is when I'm eating. She
doesn't
want to wait for when I'm eating. Secondly, when it's family time, my phone is nowhere near me. So if somebody call, I will call them back. Send me a message. Send me a WhatsApp. I will reply it.
They have rules. There are some rules.
My family time. If you call me on a Sunday evening, okay. If you call me tonight, I come home tonight, and you call me at 7 o'clock, I'll say, "Brad, give me a little chance to watch the news now. Call me back in half an hour." So I'll let you know that I'm watching the news. I want to be current. If I'm in the washroom, of course the phone is following me in the washroom. It's outside.
Yeah.
If I go and take a shower, the phone not with me. So you have to understand there are times that a person will not have their phone.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
No, Raj, for the viewers and the people that will see this live, tell us, explain a day in the life of Dr. Raj.
Yeah, is Dr. Raj still having sex?
Of course.
Okay.
I wake up.
Yeah, so a day in the life of
I wake up very early in the morning. I look at my phone. I look at cricket anywhere in the world. I do my bathroom
love your
duties.
cricket, fight.
I love my cricket. I do my bathroom duties. I go to take a shower. I go to my prayer room. No phone. I pay homage to my deities. I do what I have to do. And I'm done. I'm done for the day. It doesn't mean that I forget God for the day. If I go in my car, I will say a mantra. If I go in somewhere and I sneeze, I'll say a mantra. After that, I will have breakfast. My wife will prepare breakfast. My wife cooks every day. I'll have breakfast. She works with me also. So she'll carry lunch.
Okay. All right.
That is if I'm in my office in St. Augustine. I leave my home around 7 o'clock and I head to St. Augustine. I do what I have to do in St. Augustine, and if I have to go Debe, I go to Debe. If I have to go Princeton, I go to Princeton. If I have to go Chaguanas, I go to Chaguanas. I spend my time seeing people. I give free advice when I'm in the store. I meet my clients. I do my consultation. On a Wednesday is my day off to do other things. It's my day off from those type of work to do other things. So if I have let's say for example, I have a meeting with a banker, I'll say put it on a Wednesday, please. If you invite
Right.
me to come to something, I'll say, "Is a Wednesday I come in," right?
Yeah.
I am finished in all the offices at around 5. I make sure all my staff is okay. I make sure everything is done the way it's supposed to be done. I go home, have dinner with my wife. We sit down and watch news, and afterwards we watch television together. We spend our private time together. Private time does not mean to say it have to be in the night time. It could be anytime during it could be anytime, depending on how we feel. Saturdays, I always tell people, from 6 o'clock Saturday evening to Monday morning is my wife's time. That's my family.
There's a must. There's a must.
Right?
Ah, boy.
So whatever
Ah, boy.
my wife wants to do, I do it with her. Whatever my children need to do, whatever my parents need to do, I do it with them. It's family time.
Yeah.
How much
You know-
woman
you know
go be
what-
right
you know
up?
what I like
Yeah.
about-
You hear what Dr. Raj say? You hear what Dr. Raj say? From Saturday night to Sunday night is my time. You're gonna get that RKG. You can't get it.
Base, do not call me, my woman, on the live, eh? Do not, you know, you like to message me all hours. Don't message me about, hey, send the flyer, or this, or we need to do this, or we need to send this proposal.
That done.
Raj, Dr. Raj,
my accountant and my producer.
Dr. Raj, I want to tell you, over the years here in your radio, as a radio presenter myself, it's my first time, you know, I've had a personal interaction with you, and I must say, I have enough respect based on your knowledge. And what I realized, you mentioned a lot in the entire, maybe 2 hours we have in this conversation, is family. And that is very, very important. I want to commend you on that. You know, the mere fact that everything that you said, it ties back into family. And it's so important that, you know, having a father figure and a mother at the home, because in society now, we see what going on in society because we don't have that at the home.
You see that the unit of family, they strengthen you. They make you into who you are, and they give you the opportunity to divert your mind into something else. So, like this evening, I came home, I took a nap. Sometimes I take a nap. My father called. He said, like, I disturbed you. I said, I was taking a nap, but no problem. And we discussed what we had to discuss. But it's that time to share and divert your mind into something else. So I think I was blessed to be able to talk to my father. Of course, I'll ask for my mother. She's not well right now, so I'll just hear her voice.
And your father and mother still live together?
Oh, yes. They're married 61 years this year.
61 years.
61
Wow.
61 years. Yeah. So they're my living example. They are my living example. My grandfather and grandmother, they were married for 70 years until he expired. So it's a living example. So now remember, a lot of people don't look at it this way, but family is also spirituality. You know, how you treat your spouse, how you treat your children, how you treat your mother-in-law, how you treat your father-in-law, how you treat my father-in-law. When my wife go to visit my father-in-law, if I'm not there, he will go back to his room. You know, the first thing that's where. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a connection.
Okay,
Yeah.
sit down and talk for hours. He was in politics. He likes sports. We'll talk about all kind of things. And I respected him. When he died, the person that they asked to do eulogy was me.
Wow.
Not even any children. You. Wow.
When he had another wife, not my mother-in-law, who lives with me. And when she was dying, she called me. She said, "Raj, come here." Now she's a pundit daughter. She said, "Raj, you know you can't do anything for me because I'm your mother-in-law." I said, "Ma, I know that, but I'll be with the boys." Means you can't do RT and those things. Then.
Yeah.
I say, "I know that, but I'll be with the boys." That is the kind of love and appreciation I have with these people. So the connectivity was always there. And I think when you do that, you get blessings. And I think when you do that, you get a sense of spirituality and you're stronger.
Yeah.
You're a great man, by Dr. Raj.
I want to thank you, boy, Raj, boy. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your time. You know, they have a saying, right? I don't know if you ever heard it before. The grave is a very rich place because a lot of people die with their knowledge. But what I want to tell you is I appreciate the fact that they share a lot of knowledge tonight because it's going to resonate with the people. People go feel the energy. People are going to see the live. I mean, years from now, people are going to see this live, and you know, knowledge is something. Knowledge is something to share. You know, you can't hold back knowledge. And I want to
let me teach you something that you can use later on. Knowledge is the only thing, when divided, it multiplies. Because you don't lose
Knowledge
it.
is the only thing
and
when
somebody
divided.
else-
Right, yeah, boy. Great.
Oh, wow.
So you divide it by sharing it, and it multiplies to everyone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I learned that
Yeah,
from one of my
Playmaker
mentors.
says, lovely live. It was worth watching. You know what I mean? Family first. Lovely feedback we getting. So,
Yeah.
Raj, thanks again for your time.
Anytime
Before you
need
go,
me,
though,
once I have the time, I'm available.
Yeah, tell me
before you
your
go,
build the number.
yeah,
and
give
thing.
us your number and your Instagram handles.
Anything, all the information
Dr.
to
Raj,
reach out to you.
once you put in the word Dr. Raj, the sexologist, you'll get everything. My Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My cell phone number is 740-1961. The office number is 645-4543. If you want to get in touch with any of the 7 branches that we have, Sangre Grande, Port of Spain, Chaguanas, Debe, Princestown, I missed out one of them, St. Augustine, just ask them. They will transfer you to any one of the branches. So I am there. I try to help people. Of course, I have my profession. I have to live. It's my qualification. So that's what I do. But like this, a one-on-one with anybody, I do it freely. So anytime you need me, I'm there.
Nice.
Much appreciated.
And my television show. Look at my television show.
What time? Give us the time. Give us the time.
Gael, it's on Gael Mondays from 8 to 9. Thursdays from 6 to 7. And Saturdays from 11. The reruns. Saturdays from 11 to 12.
Yeah, man. Amazing.
Yes,
Check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a blessed night.
Thank you
You
for
know,
having
Nice
me.
talking. Nice talking to you again by Raj, boy.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah, man. Respect. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
On your
Yes.
left. See? I told you you'll be impressed.
Yeah, boy. Raj is a boss. Raj is a boss. Definitely. You know, I want to take time out to tell you. I mean, when it came into my Raj, I was like, Raj, yeah. I was excited because I've never had an interaction with him. And I must say, the conversation was, you know, a wealth of knowledge, something that we can't pay for. You know what I mean? And this is why we do this show. This show, we go from artists. Because somebody told me the other day, yo, you all don't limit this show at all, but are they interviewing anybody? And I said, that is the point.
Yeah, man. If a cow could talk, who jump over the movie, you interview him.
Exactly. How the TikTok mommy going?
TikTok mommy going nice, man. Ladies out there over 30, over 40, over 50. Right now reaching 4 to 5 videos a day. So you know it's going good. It's building, it's growing. And of course I see you doing when you're doing interviews all day. You love life. Nice.
The love life, boy, the love life. The thing about it, I will tell you something. It's 2 weeks we have it now, and today I see 2,600 views, right? 2,600 views. Over 100 and maybe 50 or 60 somethings likes and maybe 2 dislikes. You know, it's have the ones that they always have the haters. What I would say though,
how somebody could dislike? How somebody could dislike that, boy? I mean, oh gosh, boy. If you don't like it, don't leave it alone. You go actually put that thumbs down, boy. Oh gosh, boy, you're wicked. Wicked with 2 V's.
You're wicked. Listen to this. The thing about it, what I appreciate about, I released the Love Life 2 weeks ago. And what I appreciate about is the messages, boy.
Yeah, man.
The amount of people, yeah, but it touching people, the amount of people messaging. People that never had a conversation with me, even at the workplace. Saying, my KG boy, this one really touched me. And the mere fact that it resonated with people like that, I feel like I win already. I feel I win already. You
yeah, man.
I mean?
It's no airplane, no wheel up, no pull up could account to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's same thing with the TikTok mommy too. A lot of ladies elderly ladies reaching up to me. So God, you're making us feel good with this challenge. You know what I mean? You're liking yourself. Some people feel it's not about that thirsty man thing. If some women want to whine to express herself, that is them. Some women at work, some women working out. Wherever it is, how you feel to express yourself as a woman of age who looking good. You know what I mean? It's all good. So it's all about making people feel good. You know. And I'm glad we both doing something at the same time to show them, you know, what time it is. You know?
Definitely. Base, next week Wednesday, God's Spare Life.
Yeah.
You know what we do? It's all about
man.
On the live. Respect me out.
Yeah, man.
Today's what? Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday,
tomorrow 12 to 3.
Yeah, man. Tomorrow look off. I will send a show tomorrow that's going to be shown on Republic Day. So look out for that. Man. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Nice, man. Respect.